We are Adasoft Software Training Services. This is the tutorial for the beginners in AutoCAD software.
Hi guys, I hope you can see in movies where all the chairs are arranged and you can see some light fittings in the corridor and a pantry with lots of chairs around the table. I think you got an idea. Today we are going to see the command array in AutoCAD. So array is mainly used to arrange the objects in a sequential order. So here you can see these chairs have been arranged rectangularly so that there are a number of columns and number of rows. So we will see here the light fitting. There is only one row, but these all are in one group. See. So we will see how can we arrange our objects in a sequential order. So for that I am first inserting an object here. I have a chair here. Okay, this is 2020, that's the reason insert command is coming like this. Please review our other videos to know the updates in 2020 and 2021. There are a little bit changes from our other versions. Okay, come back to this video. We have the chair here. We have only one chair. Now I want to arrange this chair in rows and columns. So we will see first, we will call that type of arrangement the rectangular arrangement. So in AutoCAD, array option is available here. If you click on the drop down menu, you can see three different types of arrays. One is rectangular array, the other one is path array, and the third one is polar array. First we will see rectangular array. Either you can take the command AR for array, or there is an option array rectangular. Here also you can select that command, or you can click here directly to get the rectangular array. Let me take the command AR. I want these chairs to be arranged in rows and columns. So I have selected the chair. After selection, you need to give enter. In the command window, you can see three sub options. Default option is rectangular. Here in the bracket, you can see rectangular. If you enter, that option will be active, or you can select rectangular from here. So I am giving enter button. Here you can see this was the only chair what we had before. Now default array has came as 4 columns and 3 rows. Here you can see the details on the top of your screen, or else you can give the spacing, number of columns, rows, levels, etc. in command window by selecting these sub options. I prefer to give the columns, number of columns and number of rows over here. So if you give, instead of 4, if you give 10, you will have, and give enter, you will have 10 number of columns in your array. If you give the row into 5, the row will increase towards up direction, because our AutoCAD is counting, we have set our units in anti-clockwise direction. So all the objects creating in array will be in anti-clockwise direction. That's the reason the objects are creating in the top rows. This between column is to adjust a gap between the chairs. If you want the chairs to be very close, you can reduce the gap between the columns. Let me give 80. You can see the chairs are getting closer. Same like the rows also can be. I need to maintain only 80, then we can give 80, or let me give 90. Okay. Likewise, you can adjust your number of columns and rows in rectangular array. This option levels is to project into Z axis. In a 2D drafting time, you no need to bother about projection to Z axis. So this we can avoid right now. Here there is one more option called associative. This is very important while making an array. So this is now turned on. I will show the difference what will happen if we turn off this associate. So first condition, first step, we will turn on this associative, and now our all the dimensioning for the array is completed. We will close the array. You can see our objects as single object. If you select your object, again the array option is coming over here. So you can again change, if you want, you can change your rows and columns, but here you cannot see the option associative again. Clear? So let us make another array. Select the object rectangular. Here I am turning off this option associative. Now that is off. We will see what will happen to our array. If you select any of the object in the new array, the whole number of chairs will not select. But if you select the object in the previous array what we have made, all chairs will be selected, and you can change the number of items in that array. But if you have turned off associative while making your array, you cannot change the items or the number of objects within that array. So as per your requirement, you need to turn. You cannot get the associative option second time in array edit option. So this much you are clear, I think so. And if you select the array, you can see three other options. This will be covered in our next sessions. Now we will move on to the next option, path array. Here we have a chair which has to be distributed through this curve, so that my chair will be here in the figure. The chairs all are in rectangular shape. I need a curved shape for my array. So let me array my chair with respect to the curve what I have drawn here. So for that we will take path array in the option. So let me select the object. After selection, you can select the second option, path init, or you can type PA in the command window. Then it is asking to select the curve. The chairs has been arranged in the same curve what I have drawn there. Here you can give, if you want more than 5 rows, chairs will be arranged like this. If you want 10, this can be arranged like this. So this will make our drafting very easy. Correct. Now here also let us make the associative turned on. And now here this number of items we are not able to modify, correct? We are adjusting the gap between the chairs. So let us make it as 80. Chairs will be little more closer. sorry, here we need to change 60. The chairs will be more closer. If you make it 80, this is fine. Now if you want to arrange these chairs, you can copy this row and you can paste here in the towards the bottom, or you can use rectangular array to arrange. If you reduce the columns to 1 and rows to 5, this will be arranged like this. So this will make our work little easier. See? Okay, I hope you understand how to use path array. So these slides have been distributed using path array. That's the reason when we click on this slide, all the things are, this window is additional option is coming here, array, path array. You can see this has been arranged using path array. Now we will go to polar array. So this chairs are being distributed around the table. So we will see how it can be done. For that, let me draw a circle here. I am inserting a chair. Okay, this chair has to be distributed around the table. So yes, this is our table. So let me take the command array, select the objects. We will take polar array. Here specify the center point of array. These two options we will see in 3D modeling. For 2D modeling we need only specify center point of array. So this chair has to be arranged around the table. Here you can give number of items. If you want 20 chairs, you can give 20. If you want 10 chairs, you can give 10. You need only first quarter of the table. You can place like this. If you want to distribute in semicircle, you can do like this. You can change the direction here. If you type here 3, you will get 3 rows of chairs around the table. So this will make our drawing very easy and it is looking good, no? So I hope you understand how to use rectangular array, path array. Path array, I will show one more thing. Let me take this path array. So this is our path array. Here we have changed the distance between the chairs. You can give here we are not able to give the items. So that can be changed by using, here default option is measure, change into divide. Now this is active. If you give 20 number of chairs, it will come as 20 number of chairs. If you give 10 number of chairs, it will be 10 numbers only. The gap will automatically calculate it. So likewise you can adjust. If you forget to tick on the associative while making the array, then you cannot edit the number of columns or rows later in your drawing. So thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe us for more videos.